1 2 1 2. We live. Oh, we live. Oh, crack one. What we got? Alrighty. We are live. Do. Let's see. Alrighty. So what I am gonna do right now, I got this crazy idea from doing a little deep research, and again, I'm soul searching for the video game that I want to build. I mean, that's probably my constant state of existence. So if you're familiar with RimWorld or any colony simulator, RimWorld's a top-down sci-fi colony management game where you control a group of survivors on a backwater planet, managing their needs, building the base, and your goal is to kind of get off the planet, to build a rocket and get off the planet. Now, this thing has mods out the teeth. People do all kinds of stuff in RimWorld. They come up with their own missions, their own goals, their own stories because of the emerging gameplay from the World Orchestrator, and the events and all the, well, they call it, what do they call it? The AI, basically, that manages the game state, is a big part of it. So here is an asset that I'm using to get basically a very polished RimWorld-like experience from out the box, and it's called Colony Simulator. When you have disposable income and money and you know how to integrate complex code projects together, you can save yourself hundreds of thousands of hours, or thousands of hours, I meant, not hundreds of thousands. So this asset here is basically a really amazing, very polished system for a RimWorld-like game. It is very in-depth. It has a lot of the features already in there, ready to go. And it's got buildings, it's got the colonists, they got hunger, food, housing. You can give them jobs, you can task them to go do this, that. They can gather resources. And you can, all kinds of standard stuff for a colony simulator that you would expect is in this game already. So see here, you can kind of like see the economy, the research tree. There's a lot baked in here. So this is a very solid prototype. It's very bright on my face, which is awesome. So taking this, and then I'm going to use Malware's animal controller, which sounds weird, but it is also a character controller. Man, why is this bright as hell? Dark mode. Yeah, I hate white websites that just like blast me with a flashbang. So let's go to the asset store for this guy, actually. I love this. So again, character controllers, your third person character controller, your first person character controller, or any kind of top down character controller, you can roll your own, sure. But it's been done a billion times, right? And a very polished character controller is well worth $49. This one, the reason I like it is it covers quadrupeds and bipeds amazingly simply. You can do animals, you can do humans. It has a lot of your staple third person character controller features. So like climbing, jumping, gliding, weapons, bows, guns, melee, swimming. It's just a lot of stuff is already working out the gate, right? So you don't have to roll that all yourself and spend a ton of time. It is a very polished product, and once you learn it, you can leverage it as your character controller in any asset or project you want. So I really like this one. It covers a lot of stuff, right? It's a really polished character controller. There's even a dog that'll follow you that has a sword you can put in its mouth and fight, and you can throw a ball and fetch. Like, it's got a lot of good AI built in. Ground alignment, IK, vaulting. It's just, all this comes in the package. So what I've done in Unity 6 right now is, where's it? I have both of these assets in the same project. So a lot of times when you have a character controller or a game template like Colony Simulator, they have when you import them, they have project settings. And when you import project settings, that's where two assets can fight. Like, this asset has its key bindings or its settings, all the project setup, and that's where typically you can't. When you take a very polished character controller into a game template or something like that, it's going to conflict because of the project settings, and you got to fix it usually, or make them work together. Thankfully, only Colony Simulator. So I'll show you what I mean here. Is it the character controller, the animal or Malbers is what I'll refer to it as, doesn't use project settings. It just works out the box without affecting your project. And there's another reason I really like this solution, because you can bring it into other complex projects easily without high risk of a lot of massaging to get it to work because project settings got undone. So here we go. Let me show you. So I'm going to re-import the Colony Simulator. Now it says importing a complete project will override your current project settings. To leave the current project intact, click open new project. So that's one way you can do it, but typically when you hit import, you're going to have two screens. Oh, I got to stop the game. Anyways, this will just kind of show you what it looks like and why Malbers drops right into Colony Simulator, no sweat. So install, upgrade. Now, all this stuff I've already imported before, so it's going to be, I'm going to hit next, and this is the project settings thing. So here, a lot of your game, these are game project wide settings, right? These affect the entire project. And when you have two assets that have project settings, they can clash and override each other. So I'm only Colony Simulator has this, so you can go to Malber, and if you go to import, you'll notice that you don't have that. It's been architected in a very amazing way. One, what's up, 30? How's it going? Been architected in a very clean way. I like the architecture. It's decoupled. Everything is using scriptable objects, or it's a data-driven kind of setup. And so far, sounding clean. Good, good, good. I really want to buy a better mic. This Yeti is so finicky and whatnot, but I don't know if I'm ready to drop $500 on a mic. But here, we're just going straight to import. There's no project settings to be imported from the character controller, which I just learned this about this asset. My other favorite character controller is Invector for Unity, and it has project settings. So I honestly think now, because of this finding, that Malber's Animal Controller is now my favorite third-person character controller. All right, so what it looks like right now, I've done no actual real integration of the two assets. I have the Colony Simulator demo scene open here that it kind of showcases the product and how it works. And if we, here's like the documentation that comes with it, kind of the developer kind of telling you what is what. It's not super thorough there, but he's a great developer. You drop in his Discord and he answers questions real easy. So I like that. Hold on a sec. This map is going to make me yellow the entire time. Oh, well. I'm going to hit play, and what you'll see is the cowboy right here in the scene down here at the bottom that's Malber's character controller. These three little guys here are colonists from the Colony Simulator. So I hit OK. Now Malber's and the Colony Simulator are working together. So I can select this guy, tell him go mine, have this guy go gather wood, this guy gather wheat, and they'll start working on the colony. And they'll just kind of do their thing. Now you see the Malber's character control is working, but the camera obviously is still in Colony Simulator. It's the Colony Simulator's camera logic. So the first step for integration for these two products that I'm going to do is make it to where you can switch between the Colony camera controls and then the controller that follows the character. But I'm not going to do that quite yet. So next thing, there's the two major pieces of this prototype. I've got the Colony simulation. It has all the buildings, all the, the standard logic that you would expect. So that's good. And it doesn't have a world map though, like RimWorld does. So if we go look at RimWorld, you can actually go from your colony to this world map, and you can actually send your colonists to different colonies and have them attack or trade, or you can have them set up a new colony, or just go to a new section of the map and mine resources or gather whatever and bring it back to the main colony. Say you've exhausted yours. So basically the third piece of this prototype is a world map. And what I've done is a deep research on that. So here's my prompt, basically. Find Unity-ready overworld map solutions, 2D or 3D, suitable for strategy RPGs, including RimWorld-style globes, hex maps, or tile maps, and high-quality open-source options. And then basically say what to collect for each candidate. I tell it what to get, the deliverables for this research. And it's basically 3 to 5 best fit picks for a world map. Now it could be paid asset, it could be open source. And I'm leaning between two options it has found. So constraints and preferences, Unity 2022 URP, desktop first, mobile performance notes helpful, budget less than $100, prefer code you can extend, public APIs and examples required. So a well-polished product that's been battle tested and documented and has a good developer behind it who has created code that's easy to jump into and extend. Always valuable. And then it kind of tells it some queries. So I had Gemini create the deep research. And here's the report that it came back with. So the top tier recommendations are World Map Globe Edition 2 by Connect, Chrononeck, And then Cat likes coding hex map project. This one is kind of exciting, and it does more of the Rim world map stuff right out the box. And we're going to look at these two. Really, that's pretty much where my head's at. Isle of Lore to Hex Tiles by... Hold on, I haven't looked at this one yet. This one might be interesting. Oh, that's pretty. Now, I doubt this is as feature-rich as I'd want for $9.99. So let's see here. Yeah, it's pretty, but it has got no features. Let's go back to research. Low poly, 3D models, open source, procedural worlds, animator. So let's look at Cat's coding project. This hex map is impressive. It has become an open source project that you can just download for Unity. So it's a tutorial you can follow too. So if you ever want to, my gosh, is there an extension to make everything dark mode? Dark mode. No dark mode for website. Enabled. Relaunch Chrome. Fun. So let me relaunch Chrome. Yeah, that didn't work. Whatever. We'll just get through it. But it's a tutorial you can follow and get to the finished product if you want it. But I want... It's just a really powerful project. Now, it's a more complicated solution than probably my other option. But it just... Oh man, it handles everything I could want. So let's go back to the report. So if we go back here, open this guy up. What is it called? So if I base the game world off the actual Earth and did like a post-apocalyptic kind of colony simulator slash sandbox adventure thing, I would probably use this guy. But a lot of the stuff that I would have to bake in, pathfinding from point A to B, units, colony markers probably. And that's where this has a leg up on features on for what I'm going after, but it would be cool as shit to go with this tool. So you could start your colony in like any country or area on the earth, and then you could now, explore or send your colonists to other colonies or sections of the earth. And I don't know, again, just kind of some ideas. And this one probably has those features I need. I like the clouds floating right there. Oh man. If I did go with an Earth-based world, this would look clean as hell. 71,000 cities included, region and capital names. Well, there's the markers I needed for colonies. I could just trim that list down or randomize it. New country. Oh shit. Powerful editor extensions. Advanced navigation systems. Okay, hold on. I didn't think it had navigation, but show me that navigation. Oh, this is just actual moving around the camera. New World Order. If it can basically take a point and pathfind to another point, that's mostly what I need. But again, I could roll that myself for this map. That would be pretty clean. Really, I think those are the best options I've got. God, I hate node-based workflows. I don't know why. They're amazing, they are, but sometimes they're just, it just takes almost too much to figure out how they work, especially if they aren't like a real popular used one. It's just some random node system. Yeah, like, this is impressive though. But I don't need an infinite world, and this is overkill because I don't want to be rendering vegetation, all that on the overworld. So we're not going to look at that guy. This one was interesting. It's a free browser-based application renowned. Hold on a sec. Ability to generate plausible and data-rich fantasy worlds with deep simulation of geography, climate, and culture. Primary strength of generator has been create a vast, unique, and complex world that would be infaceable. However, yeah, I would have to write basically an importer for this guy, but it is actually really cool. So we'll look at it real quick. It's impressive. So if you do D&D or any kind of stuff like that, this thing is probably a very cool tool. Oh wow, it increases cities. No, fuck. That's so cool. You mix this data with a map generator or a city generator, it could be really neat. Install. No, I don't care. I wonder if there's any like anybody's like figure this out. So you got political maps, cultural maps, religion maps, providences, biome map, height map, physical map. It's just insane. Places of interest. Oh man, it's so cool. Military map. That is freaking awesome. Emblems. I wish this was a Unity asset. So bad. Tools. Edit, generate, add, show, create, export, download image, export to GeoJSON. Oh. Oh. Wonder what that looks like. Dissolve. I bet you there's a GIS data visualizer for Unity, but what I would have to do if I allowed the players, if I just had one world and it didn't change, this would work great. But I could do a web call to create new ones, download it, and import it. But again, not going to mess with it. Such an amazing tool, though. Holy cow. Crazy cool. Just very impressive. Oh, I already own this asset. And we'll just go with that. Buy now. Did I never claim it? Well, now I officially own it. I thought I was going to buy it. I guess I already did in the past. So again, quickly with 3 assets, I have a ton of the functionality that I would be looking for in this project. So now let's see if this one imports cleanly or if it's going to make me fight it. Another thing to factor in here is, okay, URP is supported, so that's the pipeline I want. Oh, hexagon map grid with pathfinding support. Yes. Fuck yes. Because I'm not gonna have units on the world map so much. There's not gonna be combat or anything like that. I just need to be able to show my colonist or the player on the world map as they move to another location. And then obviously points of interest and call other places you can visit. So Unity 6. Cool. All right. So here's hoping it doesn't have project settings. And if it does, it's not really ones I care about. Nope, no project settings. Sweet. So let's import. So all three assets should now be in the project, and they aren't really going to clash with each other. Now they're all not speaking to each other yet, but that's much easier than, or that's not the part that worries me. So I think one of the two things I would do first is one, create a system to swap from Colony Simulator to your player character. So you can go from this top-down view to actually running around in your colony in the world with a character. That'd be kind of cool. Or well, that'd be a proof of concept that I would need as when I'm looking at this as a minimal viable product or MVP. Having that working is a big piece of this puzzle. And it's not actually hard. I think I can get that one working pretty quick. And then having it to where you can go from the colony to the world map and back. Again, another big piece of this puzzle, not hard to do. So after I see them all working without crying, there's no errors after import. So let's open up this guy. Scripts. README. I'll just change log. Don't need it. Yep, looks like it's just plug and play. So let's go to the demo scene. And this is again why I heavily recommend using very amazing assets to get a leg up on development. Fire rocket. Oh shit. That's cool. How do I zoom in? Oh, there it is. That's backwards. I'd rather scroll up to zoom in and down to zoom out, but okay. So I'm gonna that's a cool feature. So you could actually, your colony could bomb other colonies, and that's just in there out the gate. Fly to Mexico. Yeah, I think an apocalyptic world where the world's ended, your colony is building up from the ashes, and you need to scavenge the other parts of the world and see what's out there. Yeah, this is so feature rich. It's crazy. Yeah, I think this is probably going to be it. Show state names. Kentucky. There we are. There I go. All right, so cool. So the next thing I would do is I'd probably go through all these demo scenes and find the one that has the most features that I need. It's the most complete and set up for what I'm going for. Oh, there it is. Pathfinding with multiple points. I love it. I love it. Love it. Love it. Love it. Love it. Okay. So that's awesome. Virus plague. That's cool. That is a neat demo. Don't know if I would use it, but Fog of War. Now this one I actually do want because the World's Ended. How do you uncover the fog? But it's Earth. I mean, the survivors are going to basically all know what the map of the Earth looks like. So, is there a reason to fog of war it? Not really. It says click and drag to clear the fog, but it ain't doing it. Oh, there it is. And again, I don't think I need that. Here's a hex map setup. Oh, that's just sweet. Your colony could be on any of these hexes. And at the start of the game, oh man, it's even got roads. That's cool. It's got all the functionality that I'm looking for, actually. With that. Way too tiny. Yep, that is impressive. So there we go. We have that asset. And now we have the 3 pieces that I need to create a colony simulator with a world map. And one of the big spins on Colony Simulator is the ability to actually control your main character and not just, direct colonists like from God mode. Hmm. God of War, Earth Graffiti. Okay. Don't need that. Slippery map. Oh, that's kind of cool. I don't know what I'd use that for. UI canvas demo. That's dope. That's fucking cool. I don't like that I don't know why they got like the cut off earth at the bottom. They could just remove that. And the fact you can zoom past it. That could have uses right there. Globe at the top of screen. What is this? Oh, it's dual cameras. It's 2 video game cameras. Which could mean... No, that's a shitload. I was going to say, I could actually just pop open the world map in the colony scene instead of making you try or switch scenes to get to it, but I'd rather not be running the colony processing and the map at the same time. So sprite marker demo. Oh, I guess it's just showing the how to play sprites. The hell? I guess that's intentional. This is the rectangle. That's cool. God, this thing has got every damn feature you could ever want. And again, that's why I would not try to roll this guy solo. Press space to highlight the country at the center of the screen. Oh. It's putting it in the log down here. But it's doing it. Figured it would like highlight it. Okay, so there's that. Let's go back to the colony scene. Now, one thing I don't know if is set up is the graphics here. Are we actually? Nope, we're not. PC or C mobile. Let's see if this breaks anything. We're good there. Let's go to the Malber's demo scene. Okay, we're good here. So what I would expect to break, you'd see a bunch of pink textures, like the assets aren't set up for URP, but that worked. So we'll be able to quickly get running. So this would be what, when you're controlling your character, this is what it would be like. Woo! And again, this is a very feature-rich third-person character controller that would take me forever to get to this level of polish. So yeah, you could actually help defend your colony, and as this while your colonists also are fighting alongside you. Whee! Whoa, what the fuck just happened? That probably was not right. That was a bug for sure. So again, third person character controller unlock. Now let's basically, I'm going to implement it in the colony scene and get it to where I can jump between colony and the character controller. So first things first, I'm going to create my folder in the project for anything that I do. So typically when I have assets in a project, I try to leave the asset alone and I'll leave it unmodified below as best I can. That way, if there's a future update to it that I want to bring in, it's easier and cleaner. And then anything that I do heavily modify, I typically copy it out and create my version of it in a folder. And I usually keep most of my cut stuff in underscore game or some similarly named folder. So now I'm going to create another folder for characters. Camera. What's up, man? How's it going? And then UI for now, and then scripts real quick. And what I'm going to do is create a new C# script. No, not yet. I've got several projects that kind of get far along. So the big problem with a lot of the projects prior to me working professionally and making as much as I do now is every project I built as a teenager or as a young adult while working at Pizza Hut or nursing homes and shit always died with the artist. I can never find an artist to help me get it across the finish line. Yeah, it would be big, but man, it is a monolithic task to get Steam users to come into another game environment like that. Everybody's got their home, like they're so deeply invested in Steam that Epic basically is kind of the closest one. That's they're basically buying people. Like you get free games from Epic all the time. Left and right. There's no free games on Steam. Typically, they don't like have 2 free games you can get left and here and there. So Epic's strategy is a longer term trajectory, and it may or may not work. But basically, people have built up such a repository of games in their Epic account. It is now comparable to Steam, and eventually the fees, they will then pull more developers and stuff with lower fees and stuff. So I don't know if Epic will ever topple Steam, but yeah, like it is not a task that I would not want to try to dethrone Steam. It'd be very expensive and it's a moonshot just because people have decades of time spent in building up their Steam libraries. Like my Steam library is huge. But I have Humble Bundles and stuff, SteamDB. I Am Human. Let me think here. Calculator is what I want. So you can come here to Steam Calculator and put in your Steam account and get disappointed in your life hunting ducks. So yeah, like my account at today's prices is worth $22,000. Account value at the lowest prices is this. Talk to you later, man. Have a good one. Yeah, it's going to be a hard task to get people to leave Steam. All right, Colony Simulator, Scenes, deserts. Who's that messaging at 10 at night? Or 9:30. All right, so this is where when I added the URP assets to make it a truly URP project. This is where these broke. And this is what you see when an asset isn't URP compatible, but typically is a real easy way to fix it. Go to rendering, pipeline converter, material upgrade, initialize and convert. And these assets are back. All right, so there's going to be 2 cameras. So I need the Malber's camera. So let's do a common camera. CM3, Cinemachine 3 is, I think, what I want. Probably is. Cinemachine 3.14, yeah. So I'm going to bring this guy in, drop him here. Now I'm going to disable him and keep that one on. I'm going to hit play, and then if I disable this camera, the colony camera, and enable what did I break? Mouse clicks aren't going to the UI. There we go. Weird. I don't know why that wasn't working. But again, you see this camera isn't keeping track with the my character that I'm controlling. So I'm gonna go ahead and get these guys working. And then now I'm going to disable this camera. Enable this one. There we go. See how easy? God, these things actually just go together real easy. Oh, this project is going to come along. Oh yeah, all 3 assets are going to work great. So one thing I do want to do is disable the character. See, I can still, well, shit, is it so bad being able to do the colony simulation stuff while like this? Can't see the house. Place it. Basically, whenever you do anything like colony actions, it will toggle back to the colony cam and let you do it, and then you come right back, or you can hop back into your character whenever. So what I need is a script to manage these 2 cameras. So first thing I'm going to do is put them in a empty parent, cameras, and then inside of managers, game, colony manager. I'm going to create a camera manager. And on it, I will add a script. camera manager. Unity's freaking out. All right, so we have our camera manager. And what I'm going to do is take a screenshot of that, drop it in here. Typically it lets me do that. I hate this keyboard. Whatever. So Colony Simulator is has its script in the main Unity project, whereas Malbers puts it out into. Oh yeah, check this out. Okay, so I had this idea. You know RimWorld? It's a colony simulator game. It's like it's a really amazing game. I played the hell out of it. I love it. And it's one of my favorite developers too, the way he kind of did this. But RimWorld is this colony management game that you're building up your colony to try to get off a planet, right? You're on a sci-fi planet, you're building a colony, and your goal is to build a rocket ship. Gameplay loop is a colony simulator. And then you have the world map, which is this guy here. And you can go from your colony. You can send colonists to travel to other colonies to trade, to take over, or you can just move. Your colony got destroyed and you got some colonists left, so you embark and you set up a new colony here and start from scratch if someone survived. Because there's this event AI. There's an AI that kind of controls the events in the world, and it basically kind of spices things up. Raiders will hit you, traders will come. Some of your characters will get antsy, go crazy. One will get into the space weed and get too high and then won't work. It's a really in-depth colony simulation, right? So what I've done is I've mixed Colony Simulator on the asset, which is basically a very in-depth clone of RimWorld. It gives you a lot of those functionalities right out the gate, with Malber's character controller. So here's kind of the concept. The spin on it is it's a colony simulator, which again kind of plays into the project. I wanted you to be able to control your build up a colony and recruit NPCs and all that crap. So you can see here, this guy running around is my character controller for the main player. But here's the colonist, and I can send them off to do mine wood. You can assign them tasks, right? You can build buildings like farms, houses, distilleries, mines, and all kinds of crap to build up your colony. And that's the colony simulator loop. And then this has events too, like randomly a refugee will pop up and you can take them or not. Raiders will come, you can pay them off to leave you alone or they'll attack you. And there's all kinds of events like that can happen, like weather events, like a toxic storm or whatnot. And you can upgrade your colony buildings to different things. You got your research tree already baked into this asset. You got your economy, you got your characters. You can assign them different things. So like if you don't want this guy building ever, he only should be harvesting. You can dictate what each colonist can do. And then you can set zones up. Like, so this is a zone where only one worker should be in here gathering wood. And you can assign a colonist to that zone. and then he'll work that zone and clear it out. And so it's got a lot of the, and your colonists get hungry, they have energy, they need to sleep, they have stats here, and they have an inventory and a bag. You can upgrade that through the tech tree. So basically one of the first things I do is build a kitchen. Need more rock. But that's the colony simulator loop, right? And I've got my Malware's controller down there working. You can see him running around. But if I go this, and basically I want you to be able to control. My controls are backwards now. Well, that's just part of the integration. So basically I will disable the colony camera, and you'll go into this camera, and you can actually run around your colony, and you can fight when your raiders are coming. You can actually fight with your colonist, or you can just kind of manage your colony this way. In fact, I might make it to where you just work through this UI instead of going back and forth, but so now we got, so basically those two pieces, right? So I've married those two together. I can already make a script that's going to let you switch between the two cameras. But then the next piece that is of this idea, also, dude, you've got to check this out. This is the craziest thing I've seen in a long time. I can download this data, but I was looking for a world map asset, or I did some deep research on that. Oh, appreciate you. Give me those Bezos bucks. Finally getting my subscribers back. I used to actually have like 10 or 20 subscribers at one point when I was going hard last time. I wish I would have ever stopped. But dude, for role-playing purposes, this website is the coolest thing ever. So you can, like, a military map, you got your cultural map, you got biome map, height map, religion map, points of interest, and then what is it? Go back to political. You come here and click on a city. Look at that. It fucking has the city right there. And this is a randomized map. This is all random. Hey, Lorenzo. I had this idea. So this all started tonight. I had this idea. RimWorld, but you can control, you can, instead of just having your colonists and you kind of control it like that, a colony simulator, like RimWorld or a Frostpunk or whatever, you actually have a player character that you can control. And then I wanted to, so the main RimWorld has the world map and the colony map, right? So I needed a world map. So this is kind of an example of the RimWorld map, or well, that's not a good example. But if you ever played RimWorld, you know exactly what I'm talking about. Hey. So this is the world map, right? So I was like, shit, I can speed run this as an MVP, a minimal viable product. Yep, Dwarf Fortress. Yep, thank Dwarf Fortress. But so take Dwarf Fortress, the normal game mode, mix it with adventure mode, and that's what I basically got here. So like right now, if you see this guy over here, this is my player character. His controls are not in the camera. The colony camera is not mapped to him. But I have my colonists doing stuff. I need to have them build a kitchen. So now I've got my colony simulator, really featured asset, really polished. I love this asset. It has almost all the features you'd want in a colony simulator like RimWorld. You got your tech tree, you got economy, you got events like this new colonist just showed up or was born. actually, one of my colonists has died from hunger. 2 of them, actually, I think. And then a lot of those staple features for a colony simulator. And then so the 3 assets I'm using are Colony Simulator, Malber's animations for character controller and animal and quadruped stuff. But here's my world map system. Now this is a asset called World Political Map. What's the coolest one to look at first? Let's do this, guys. But basically, so there's 2 options. So for my deep research, so I'll show you that real quick. Where's it at? Here it is. So I came up with this prompt. I basically said, I want an overworld map that is like RimWorld, that can do a procedural world map and all that. It has pathfinding. It has hex-based or tile-based navigation. It has all these bells and whistles, right? So I came up with this prompt here, and I said, all right, open source or paid assets, reputable products that are, been really polished, the sources, what to collect for each candidate. So I want to know the name, the type of map, what it can do, the licensing, if it's paid or not. Then the deliverables are a table picking 3 to 5 of the best picks for this. And then, let's see here. And that's pretty much the prompt. So I kicked off deep research. Yeah, I love deep research. It doesn't usually hallucinate. Because it's actually it's pulling together stuff and building a report. So here's a report, right? So it came up with these top tier recommendations, and World Map Globe Edition 2 is an asset I already own, thankfully. And it is just crazy polished. So let me show you it now. So basically those 3 assets, and I've got a RimWorld adventure mode, Dwarf Fortress. I've mixed Colony Sim and the adventure mode of Dwarf Fortress, and I have a world map that really covers all the bells and whistles I need for like RimWorld world map navigation. And now this one is based off of the Earth. So this asset would be the theme, I think, would be the world has ended, big calamities happen, your colony is building back up from nothing. And then you will then send your colonist out to explore the world, right? So this is a cool one. You can launch a missile. I got to fix that texture, but this thing has pathfinding. It has all kinds of crazy features, like all baked in, ready to go. But I would probably use the hex map grid. Yeah. So like in RimWorld, it's kind of broken up in hexes. So in this instance, I would boom, like pathfinding. So you would see your guy kind of like your colonists you send out to build to another location to trade or take or attack another colony. You'd slowly see them walking across the world map, right? And where's it at? I think it's city travel. This this demo kind of showcases how that would look with an airplane. But I can set all the kind of markers I want. Oops. And this will navigate like that. Random path. Navigate. And you could see your colonists moving across. So essentially, these 3 assets, I've already got it all wired up. Well, not wired up yet, but what I was working on is the camera controller to switch between the colony cam and your character, your adventure mode character, essentially. So what it looks like is here again. Let's get the colonist going. And then I would, oh, I didn't save that. Whatever. Drop this guy in. So now I can run around in the colony and kind of, this is like you would switch from colony control to your main character, and your character you go off and leave the map and do, you know, travel to another area, or you can sit here and help the colonists with harvesting, or say you got raided, there's raiders coming, you can actually join in the fight. So it's not like RimWorld where you're just always in the you're controlling the colonists and you just kind of watch things happen. But basically, that's kind of the prototype I've just thrown together real quick with these 3 assets. And that's why I just had this idea tonight, and I was like, I bet you I could speed run the MVP, the minimal viable product, with these 3 assets pretty damn fast, as a proof of concept. So that's kind of what I'm kicking the tires on with this idea. Ooh, what kind of game dev do you do, Lorenzo? Or wait, yes, you used to come to my old streams before I quit recently, I think. I was streaming like a year or so ago. It would, like, I love this idea. Like, I'm so kind of into this idea. One, I love RimWorld. Oh, wow, I forgot you can speed up time, so now the colonists are on 4x time. So that's one thing I'd have to figure out, is you would be running around in adventure mode in 4x. Yeah, but anywho, I'm very fluent with the architecture of the character controller from Malbur is a really amazing product. And what's cool is, you know how you import a Unity asset for like a game template, like this colony game? Typically, the character controllers, like in Vector, if I used it also has project settings. So they would clash because the project setting files would override. Malbur's does not work off of any project settings. It's completely fully functional character controller with no project settings, right? And it's based off of scriptable objects, and it's data driven. And it's objects and it's data driven down to the events or scriptable objects, like the whole architecture. A new colonist was just born, and I think one just died. Yeah, I'm in 4x and they have no food. So that's kind of the idea right there. Did I? Oh. Like on stream or in game? For this one, so I have some ideas on that also. So let me one, I've worked with a lot of procedural gen, so this could be, well, I would need proc gen for this if you really think about it, because you go from like you travel from one colony to the next, right? I need, so when you're in the colony maps, it would have to be procedurally generated because there's going to be so many when it's based on the Earth map. Oh yeah, let me show you this thing. This is an amazing open source project that I'm kind of gushing over. This is my second candidate for world map, and it really follows the RimWorld procedural. It has proc gen. It has all the features like roads, walls, rivers, water, units. This is an open source project anyone can use. It is amazing. So it's either going to be this guy or, God, it's so bright. That other map I showed you. So again, I like the Earth idea. That's kind of cool. Like you almost have to connect. Like say it's a cataclysm. The world's destroyed. You're building your colony. You're trying to connect. You join other colonies or connect with them or align or ally with them, or you can attack them, or you can just leave your colony because everything's fell to shit and start a new one. Um, just kind of leave it open ended sandbox like RimWorld. You got a AI that's in the background, kind of orchestrating the world events and the random things that happen to you. PC just start like wheezing, don't die. And that's kind of again just spitballing, but yeah. So the proc gen on the colony maps. If I use Earth, this asset and Earth, now this asset will let you create countries and create a custom map, but I'd probably, if I were going to go with an Earth-based game or theme, I would use this. And then if I'm going to go with a truly proc gen, I'm probably going to roll Catlight Coding's hex map project. Actually, let's download it and let's play with it. Just to, see what it do. But that's the game idea. What I've recently been working on is a extension of the Malware's character controller. It's a possible asset store purchase or an asset that I would put on the asset store to allow you to create a Parasite Eve 1 combat system with it. Because I love that game and I love that combat system, and that I'm just an old head. Like oh, whoops. All right, so we're cloning that one. We'll play with it too, just before I, fully commit to the other world map. But those are all the big, major logical pieces, and I'm ready to go, and just start modifying, right, and saving myself thousands of hours of work to create a colony simulator prototype, the world map prototype, and the character controller that is as polished as Malware's is. And I'm not sure if you're familiar with it, but it is. It's great for quadruped. It basically has all the features that I'd want and more. No, I don't want that. Well, that's cloning. We'll look at this. So this guy is an amazing dev, but the character controller is really, really something. Let's go back and look at the actual character controller. I always work with this product here has the character controller and it adds in the horse riding functionality. So I usually start from this guy if I'm doing anything. But this is a really badass third person character controller, and it does great quadrupeds and bipedals. It has a lot of the specialized logic you would need for animals and humans. And it's got, Breath of the Wild climbing, it's got gliding, it's got, all kinds of features that I don't need to figure out and roll myself again. Again, I don't like reinventing the wheel, so I will use these things as a base almost 9 times out of 10. But this one, I just love it. And the fact that it doesn't have project settings, so this asset's not considered a game project. It's just a character controller that you can import and not affect your game project settings at all, or your input settings. It just goes in right beside whatever you got going on. Is why I favor it too over Invector and a couple of the others. There's the other big name ones. Invector is what I've invested a lot of time into, but it's technically a project. and it doesn't easily just drop into new solutions. So this will be the character controller for your adventure mode character and the NPCs. Eventually, I'll have to replace the character controllers for the colonist because I want them everybody to move and look kind of the same, or at least have the same kind of features. I like it. You can have the dog as a pet, and it has it'll put a sword in its mouth and fight for you and stuff. Fight with you. And you can play fetch with it. So again, just out the box, RimWorld with adventure mode, RimWorld Dwarf Fortress, but you have adventure mode because you have your specialized character that's yours. And then the world map piece is, that's the other big piece that I would need. So let's go ahead and check this guy out. Oh, cool. They've actually got it up to 6 or Unity 6 already. I'm going to go ahead and just pop it into the latest. Hopefully it doesn't break anything. So this open source project, the cat-like project, it might cry. It's currently open. You are lying to me. It is not. Let's see if it's in the background. Don't look at all those tabs. Unity, Project Eve, Colony, test with Malware. Oh, there it is. Just slow. Where is the... I figured they'd have a map already generated. I guess... Wait, here it is. Use fixed seed jitter. Where's the generation button? Am I missing it? Let's see how to kick it off. New map menu. Oh, okay. Large. Sweet. Sweet. Turn off the grid. I mean, this is a very, because look, it's even got streaming and chunking like all baked in there, it looks like. Yep. I don't know why it's pink, but I don't want that. Oh, it's because URP. I probably have to fix a texture. But oh well. I mean, this is really awesome product just out the gate for an open source MIT licensed system. Yeah, I need to. Oh, I know what I need to do. Let me just convert all the assets real fast. Or not. It looks like the shader's fine. It may just be from bringing it up to latest greatest 6.0. But as you can see, it looks like these would be plants. I would figure out why it got pink on them, but oh well. I'm kind of in love with this too, though. Like, the rivers look neat. Like, look at that. That's impressive. And again, this is a large project, or it's a project that I think has been given a lot of love. Let's look at the history real quick. Jasper. It's just him. What a beast. This thing has got so many features that I would take. And again, it doesn't intimidate me any more than the other project. Like, both, I'm going to have to learn their ins and outs. Oh, you son of a bitch, G Portal. I forgot to cancel my Farming Simulator G Portal. So bright. I've watched a bunch of Farming Simulator 2025 like reels and shorts, and I got into it. I was like, oh fuck, I want to play that. And the only thing I did was like log and make failed farms and abandon them and start a new farm and log more and try to clear land. Like, I don't know. It was fun. It was really fun just doing that. I didn't figure out the game any more than that. See, this one gives me a truly procedural map. It has units, it has pathfinding, it has chunking, saving, loading. The feature list is pretty exhaustive or extensive. So we got Separating search data, cell visual upgrades, 2.0 URP. Thank you. Thank you, darkness. Hold on a sec. Regions and erosion. Again, this would be this project right here. If you want to learn about HexMap ProcGen and just like any kind of HexMap features, it's probably a great thing to look at. Now, this is a tutorial series too, so you can go from the beginning to the end. If you're wanting to really learn and master hex maps, this is a very cool tool. Walls, towers, bridges, and special features on the terrain. It's freaking amazing. This is a really cool asset. I can't believe it. That's so cool. The other ones that I found through the deep research, and again, I knew about some of these assets already, but I wanted to see if AI could suss out or dig up anything I didn't know about. And I didn't know about Cat-like. I did not know about that project at all until this deep research report. I love the audio overviews of the deep research reports. You can get a 2-person AI podcast talking about it. And then you can also create websites and stuff based off of your reports. Not probably particularly useful for this report, but some of the ones where I've done, like, I'm trying to pitch a project at work about, adding this feature or that feature into the pharmacy factories and whatnot. I won some coolness. Man, that chat, all the chat messages just hit. I don't know why it's been doing that on the screen. In fact, I didn't even hit all of them. I need to, I don't know, drop that and re-add it probably. Typically, these are going to be like one-page Tailwind HTML websites, but they're usually pretty good. I think Tailwind's what they use, something like that. I'm a back-end guy. So I'm going to give that speech on AI in the University of British Columbia, right? And now I'm going to be meeting with a lot of the higher ups, my bosses and their bosses and whatnot, to kind of talk all the stuff that I've done and like how we can apply it. Give me dark mode. What is going on? MIT license. So overall asset score, features, performance, docs, and value. Worldshaper Pro. Only. Did I look at Worldshaper Pro? HexMap Global. Yeah, I had to. Yeah, that's the one I've been looking at, I think. I think it did. I think that might actually be hallucination. I think what it means is this guy, the one I've been showing, this here, World Map Globe 2. And then again, this, I wish this was an asset and like I could bring all this data, because this creates the world map, the religions, the armies, it goes in depth. It even creates the frickin' cities, the temperatures, height maps, political maps, points of interest. Like this here, if I had this, talk to you later, man. Have a good one. I would freaking love to use this. You can export the GeoJSON or just straight up JSON. So I could create a Unity importer to use all this data. But man, if you ever have a D&D campaign or something like that, this thing is amazing. Sit here and like click on a city. You can see all the city right there. You can get all kinds of crap, man. You can add a castle. The amount of data and the thought that goes into these maps here is crazy. This is a really cool website. The fantasy map generator. It is very impressive. I don't think it. The UVs when you go to the globe aren't so great, but I will forgive them. All right, so I need to play with this more, this asset more, but I think I'm gonna be doing the Earth, like the apocalyptic Earth colony sim based thing. So what I want to do real quick is get it to where I can go from switch between the character and the colony sim camera in real time. I swear I saved it. So let's go ahead and copy this scene out. So basically, the two things I want to do to get the MVP to a point where I kind of will be happy with it tonight is be able to switch between controlling your colony and your main character and going from third person camera to that's so weird. The messaging. I gotta fix the chat messaging thing. So first things first, I'm gonna rename this guy to player. That way, create my own prefab. I don't mess with the default prefab. And then I'm going to introduce the Cinemachine 3 camera into the scene. Up here, put these bad boys in empty parent. And then I'm going to add a new manager. And this will be the camera manager. And work from that. So what I want now is to, and I've already done some of this work, so I'm going to pull it from this project. Oops. I think it's better. No, actor. So these pieces right here are really what you need to control the, well, I don't really. No, they won't be here, but I'll put them here for now. What I want to do, just to kind of quickly get this, I want to be able to stop and start the input on the Malware's controller pretty fast. So I'm just going to real quick. Allow me to get access to that, and I'll clean this up. I believe this is not a Cinemachine camera. Nope, it's not. So for now, again, just being quick and dirty. Just for my MVP. I'm gonna clean this up later. One, this stuff shouldn't be on my camera manager. Yeah, it shouldn't. My character controller will react to the camera changing through events in the future, but for now, just to see this work real fast. You know, temporary solutions, band-aids last longer than actual solutions. Air camera. So I think I'm gonna not do this. I'm gonna keep it clean from the start. Sure. Ready? So that should allow me to switch it. For now, probably create an event. I'll do that in a second. Call it key code tab. No. So when we tab, it's going to call switch camera. All right, that should be good enough. Oh, I gotta set this boolean. Hold on. So the player camera will be disabled by default. Camera manager. Errors. Does this have to be public? So, I don't remember. Yeah, I think so. That makes sense. I thought serializable field as a private was automatically exposed in the inspector. Or I'm just not referencing the right script. What the hell is going on? Do I not remember how these work? Oh, properties are not supported in the inspector. That's what it is. There we go. Bear cam. So we want that to be true off the rip. Get off. Quit flying, you jackass. Let me restart. There's two things I don't want to do, or well, There we go. There we go. One thing I have a problem with is camera is not grabbing the focus, or the game window is not grabbing the focus of the cursor. I need to fix that. So now I want to make the player stop. See, the player's moving. So I only want them to move whenever and they're having some orientation issues. See, they're all good there. And now they're not. Probably because the input is still going for the camera. Yeah, pretty sure that's what's up. The controls. So we're going to disable controls. Is there anything else I need to disable? I'm going to add an event. Whenever the camera is switched, it'll fire off an event. And then I'm going to have the control script for the colony sim react to that guy and disable itself. And then I'll have the player character respond to the event and stop input for the player character if it's colony cam. So let me just grab a drink real quick. Keep. So I'm going to create an event manager as a go-between for now to avoid a singleton situation. And then eventually I would lean into the scriptable object events architecture that this already has, the character controller. But for now, I'm just going to create my own little centralized spot for them. This will give me access to the two things I need for now. On startup, I want to wire up this event. And then this is going to do if oh, if is coloring camera player lock input player lock movement. Up and down movement, horizontal movement, forward. Yeah, we just want the lock movement. Now I'll make the game event manager a singleton so I can access the objects, the events. I should just go with scriptable events, but I will figure that out. All right, now it's yogurt time. Actually, I'm just going to make the control script here. Again, I'll come back and do my events in a better, more decoupled way. Now this should Yep. I think this will work. Man, it's so bright. I'm gonna fix that. This terrain is killing me. That's much better. Much better. All right, so now events and quests. He seems to be. Input locked, yeah. Where do I set? There it is. I want the camera. Take the mouse. So they aren't, well, they are, but okay, the player's not moving. Player's not moving. Did I get that logic wrong? Oh, duh. It's a colony cam false. My bad. No, shit. Do, do, do. For some reason, he doesn't look at my back and forth isn't working. And that's mainly because I think the cursor is not locking this screen. So now I cannot control the colonist, which is good. Then I come back here, I can. So that's working. So now what can I do to get this to lock the cursor? I forget how that works. Origin. Curious if the cursor locks if I disable these guys. No, okay. So I think that's the problem. Because if I go to the yeah, see the cursor gets locked in. Hmm. Let's see if Unity's AI can figure this out. Guess I didn't want to do that, but oh well. I can't remember the code. It's I think it's in the event manager where you handle that. I shouldn't eat like an animal on stream. What was I thinking? Event. Shit. That's where I saved this. can't remember how you lock the cursor. I used to know it. I used to know it. That's pretty sweet. I guess the colony sim relies on it not being locked at the moment. So I'll make it to where it reacts to the event manager too. Now, actually, let's just see. Lock input. Disable internally the controller without disabling the component. I might want to do sleep instead of lock input, but we'll figure that out. Oh, shit. Got to get away. Yep. Interesting. Interesting indeed. So we have a thing to fix. I don't need to actually reference that guy. I don't think I need that scripted. Oh. And now it should unlock and lock based off if we're in colony mode or player mode. Oh, that's fine. Oh, it is not. It's not changing directions when I move the camera. Oh, I'm in strafe mode. Tab puts me in strafe mode. I need to switch that key. Oh. Make it T. I think because when I hit tab, I'm in strafe mode and I'm no longer, well, again, strafe mode should behave better. We'll see. So I want this to be use local. So now it won't automatically fetch the main camera. Nope. Camera based movement's not working, but he is turning around now. Now I bet you there's something in the code that grabs the main camera. I don't want that. There we go. Ah, we have hey. Well, figured that out. You think I went to sleep? So now we should go from colony to adventure, colony to adventure. Should is the operative term. Seems like the player's getting re-enabled. Unstart, I'm gonna have to fix that. Okay, so he's asleep. These guys are gonna go to work. We are cooking with fire. Y'all best work. Get to work. Oh, red. Hey, Josephilia 5555. How's it going tonight? So now we're in colony mode. I can control the colonist. And then I want to switch back to character mode where you're playing your main character. I'm creating I'm good. How are you? Creating like a RimWorld Dwarf Fortress and plus adventure mode thing where you can control a colony, but you can also just hop into your character and kind of run around. And then I'm going to hook up the world map so I can go from the colony map into the world map and back as basically a proof of concept. I started this project tonight. I had this wild idea to create a colony simulator. Yeah, I'm a software engineer, game dev, software engineer professionally. I do a lot of pharmacy factory automation and PLC programming. And then I do game dev as a side projects and as a passion. Game dev is what I love the most. But, you know. Those are those who hit the air. Oh, these guys? Yeah. This game was, or it looks right from up here. Well, again, they're just kind of swinging, but they are working. So now we got 50 wood. Let's do a building. Do the kitchen over there. How do you go build that? Now we need to start getting some food. Let them finish all that. We can watch. Are you a game dev? Oh, we got an idle. Get your boat back to work. We need wood. Build. What am I going to build next? Get them a house. Oh no, that increases the max population. I would think that's for them to sleep in, but actually I need to stop them. So I want you, this, produce bread. Everybody make food before you die. Okay, he's 8. You eat. Need to slow down their how hungry they get. They get hungry way too fast. But the going between a character you control to the colony management is efficiently working. So the next thing I want to do is link up the world map. And that will be, for now, it will be a just hard code it. Travel to world map. We'll make it O for now. Eventually it'll be you walk off the bounds or you click a button on the UI, but this will be a way to simulate that before it's fully ready. The scene. Oh, I forget how you do that. What I wanted to get accomplished was the colony sim moving. You can switch to your player character, and then you can leave the colony map, go to the world map, and come back to the world map or the colony map tonight. I've been streaming for like 2 hours and 40 minutes. Got most of everything I want done. All right, colony simulator. CNAV. Go to world map. All right, so let's save our world map scene. So basically, this is a prototype that I thought of this evening, and then I just got excited, so I jumped on stream. It's leveraging 3 assets from the Unity asset store to get me to this level within 3 hours of work. It's the world political map and colony simulator and Malware's animal controller, character controller. I want to go to we'll do the hexagon. So I'm going to save as world map. We're going to add it to the build. Scene list. Now on this guy, I'm just going to pick a point on the map, and that will be looking at this guy here. And then cities. I don't know how this little beast works quite yet, but I will shortly. City scalar. Actually, let's do this. On handle on cell clicked. There we go. So this is gonna navigate us. I don't care which cell, any cell. Colony map. And let's hope this works. So let's go back to the colony map. Play. And this is basically me speed running a RimWorld Dwarf Fortress type game, but like Dwarf Fortress, you have your colony management, and then you also have adventure mode, which is a separate game mode where you control a single character and you explore the world. But I'm going to have it to where you can switch between your colony management and your controlling your adventurer out the gate. Because see, I can come here, run around with him, and then I can also go back to colony mode, get them working. And then go back to him, and they're all doing their thing. And you'll be able to join into the, like when you get raided by enemies or different things, you can fight with your main guy, or you can just like go off and explore and do stuff with your main character solo, or you can go with colonist. But I have it right now. If I hit O, sweet, it goes to your world map. And then if I hit that, we're back in the colony map. Fuck yes. Oh, it didn't the colonists all are they were still working, but now they're stuck, but that's whatever. So when I go back and forth, it saved the state. The scene didn't fully reset. Oops. Go get some rocks. So now if I hit O, back to world map. Ah, that's a problem. I need to unlock the cursor. They get bugged out when I switch from colony to world map, but it's working. I want to unlock the cursor before I exit though. So, and again, I'll have a loading scene screen and all that, but right now it's just quick and dirty. Confined to the game window. Let's do unlocked for now. So that should be good enough. Oop. We can rotate the earth again. And then click a cell. Now we're back. They all just try to hit that center, like, I don't know why. Get to work, yo. It looks like I lose any resources I had. Or I don't know if I had resources yet, actually. That ain't right. That's bugged. Oh, he's still walking. Right, switch scenes. I can rotate the camera. I can go back. They're going to bug out. I should probably make the main player a colonist, or you can have him clickable and controllable, just like they are in colony mode. That way you got an extra set of hands. All right, I'm gonna record it. A little clip of this. Go deep in the woods. So this is the minimal viable product that I wanted to get to tonight. Being able to switch between the main character and the colonist, and then navigating to the world map. And then right now, just any cell you click is going to send you back into the colony. And then these guys all bug out when I come back. And that's just something I got to fix. But my resources are still here. Okay. I don't like, he shouldn't be moving. If I toggle out too quick, I think, yeah, while I'm moving, his input stays moving. So I need to zero out his movement or have him come to a stop. But that's fucking awesome. 3 hours, less 2 hours, 56 minutes, and I got the prototype and my MVP to the state I want it to tonight. So what I'm thinking is it's going to be based on planet Earth. It's going to be after the apocalypse. You are trying to build up your colony and survive in the harsh world that is the world now. You can travel to the world map and you can have your colonists move to other colonies to attack, to trade, or you can move to other land hexagons to harvest the resources there. Or you can build a new colony there. I think I'll try to support multiple colonies. And then if you ever played RimWorld or Dwarf Fortress, the colony sim aspects you'll understand. Yeah, it's working like I want. So, fuck yeah. It's a good starting point or a minimal viable product or MVP for the game concept that I came up with in my head tonight. So I'm happy with it. Oh, river. Little, got some more stuff to work out, but I think it's solid. The bones are there. Fuck yes. I'm going to swap out the assets for better trees, better all that. And then I'm going to give the colonists better animations that look more similar to the main player. Also, I'm going to give them better character models. I got to work on that. But I mean, this game idea has come along really quickly. I'm freaking excited about it. Alexa, turn the TV off. Oh, they died from start. They died from not having any food. So none of these assets here actually have collision. Or well, do they? Collider. Yeah, they do. Oh, if that's the way it is, then the character controller's collider may not be clipping with that, and that's why I'm walking through. Or it could be a layering thing. But this character is not from this colony asset system. This character is a default character from the character controller that I prefer to use. So another task that I will do is leverage this character controller for the colonist as well, maybe. Oh wait, I bet you these colliders aren't set to be actual collider. It's like I'm border colliding with it. Hold on. Double check that. Oh, they're all triggers. So those aren't actual colliders, they're just triggers. And that's why I'm running through them. Man, this is so fucking sweet. It is the bones for a cool project. So what I'm gonna do is get this into source control. Get it in, rename the project to be the serious project name, and basically just start working the project. I'm gonna think on the world setting, the theme, lore, but really I just want to create an emergent gameplay sandbox experience like RimWorld, Zomboid, Cataclysm, Dark Days Ahead, or Fortress. You know, you're just a player in the world and things are happening and you have to react to it. Oh, I was gonna say, why is my wall lighting up behind me? But it's my work laptop. Screensaver on that guy. It's been given a light show all night. Oh, this is fucking awesome. I had this idea a couple hours ago. Let me drop my link tree in because I'm probably going to get off soon, but you guys can join my old Discord if you want and follow along as I kind of hammer through this project. I'll probably be doing it all weekend long, and I don't have a schedule yet. I'm just getting back to streaming. So keep an eye out for me. Hit follow, hit like, or whatever. I'm real close to 200 followers on Twitch. 5 more follows. Um, do do do. There it is. What else is there? I think that's all I'm gonna do for tonight. It's 11:30. I'm gonna hit the hay. As they say. But I went from 0 to minimal viable product for the concept. I want it in record time. 3 hours. Not bad, not bad. I appreciate you guys for stopping in and watching. I'm probably gonna get back at it around 3 or 4 Central Time, CST tomorrow. So I'm gonna kind of think on things, visualize, and kind of plan things out in my head how I want stuff to go, or how I want stuff to have. My goals for tomorrow with the project, which I think is source control, better assets, instead of these trees and the assets you see there. Expand. Had a loading screen between themes, and some, just more polish and kicking off the project. So hopefully this gets lights my fire. It does. Like, I'm pretty excited about this idea. Now again, the actual theme, story, lore, still in flux in my head. I know what I'm designing towards, so I can do a lot of that work. The world, theme, setting, and all that can come later. I know what functionality I have to get to nail the prototype that I'm going after, and from there I will really start refining it, add the just more things to it. But I'm gonna hop off, guys. I will talk to you later. Peace. Appreciate y'all.